Welcome to Cost Atlas, the hidden cost of everything. Today, the bottle of water in your hand. You think you paid for water. You didn't. Of every dollar you hand over for a bottle of water, less than 0.5% is the water. The rest is everything else. And here's the strange part. The water in that bottle often came from a tap exactly like this one. Ciostas THEIDN Coast T OFEVRYTHING bottled water is the best selling packaged drink in America, not soda. Water. Last year, Americans drank close to 16 billion gallons of it and paid around $48 billion for the privilege. Pick up one single bottle and it costs you somewhere near $1.40. The exact same volume of water, straight from your kitchen tap, costs about 0.06 cents. That's a markup of roughly 2,000 to 1. 2,000 for water. So the obvious question, the only question we ask here, is simple. Where does all that money actually go? Start with the thing you think you're buying, the water. Most people assume bottled water comes from some pristine mountain spring. A lot of it doesn't. By many estimates, around 2/3 of bottled water in the United States starts as ordinary municipal tap water, the same supply that feeds your home, which is then filtered, treated, and sealed in plastic. And the cost of that water, source plus treatment, works out to about 0.4 cents per bottle. 0.4 cents. Out of $1.40. The product is the cheapest part of the bottle. So what's the other 99.7% paying for? First, the thing the water lives in, the bottle. That clear plastic shell is made from PET resin, about 9 grams of it, blown into shape, capped, labeled, and shrink wrapped into cases. And here's the first surprise. The bottle costs more than the water inside it. Several times more. Added up, bottle, cap, label, film, and the packaging runs a few cents per unit. Cheap on its own, but already many times the cost of the water. You're not paying for water. You're paying, first, for the plastic that lets water be sold at all. Then there's the factory itself. The energy to run the line, the filling, the capping, the quality checks, the people. And a quiet irony, it takes more water to make a bottle of water than ends up inside it. Roughly 1.5 liters of water consumed for every liter you drink. Bottling and energy, call it another 6 or 7 cents a bottle. Now the part almost nobody thinks about. You have to move it. Water is heavy. 1 liter weighs exactly 1 kilogram. So every truck on that highway is hauling, mostly, weight thousands of kilos of liquid, across the country, to towns and cities that already have that exact same liquid running through their pipes. We've built an entire national logistics network to deliver, at enormous scale, something the destination never needed delivered. Freight, fuel, warehousing, distribution, roughly 15 cents of every bottle. Then comes the moment you actually buy it. And this is where the price quietly explodes. Watch the same bottle change price. In a multi-pack from a warehouse store, it's around $0.25. Cold, single, at a corner shop, over $1. Cold, single, at an airport, $2.50 or more. The water didn't change. What changed is cold, convenient, and here, right now, when you're thirsty and not counting cents. That premium, refrigeration. Shelf space, the markup at the register, is one of the biggest pieces of all, often 1/4 to 1/3 of the price. You're not paying for water. You're paying for it to be cold and to be exactly where you are. And now the largest piece of all, the one you can't see, touch, or drink. The single biggest part of what you pay isn't physical at all. It's the brand, the advertising, the sponsorships, the image of purity, of health, of a mountain spring, and the profit margin stacked on top for the company that makes it and the store that sells it. This is why a bottle filled from a city supply can outsell the tap it came from. You're paying for the idea that this water is better. On a single serve bottle, brand and margin can be the majority of the price, well over half. The most expensive ingredient in a bottle of water is the belief that it's worth buying. So, let's add up the bottle in your hand. The water less than half a cent. The plastic a few cents. Bottling a few more. Trucking it across the country 15 cents. Making it cold and convenient a quarter. And the brand on the label. The biggest slice of all. Now, multiply that one bottle by every bottle America buys. Close to 16 billion gallons a year, and the total comes to about $48 billion. $48 billion a year. For water that those same households already receive. At the tap. For an amount of actual water worth under $100 million. The gap between those two numbers, tens of billions of dollars, isn't the price of water. It's the price of plastic, trucks, refrigeration, and branding, wrapped around a liquid that was very nearly free. Here's the scale of it. You pay roughly 2,000 times the tap price for the same water. If your home water bill rose by that multiple, the $1,000 a year an average household spends on tap water would become around $2 million. And it isn't just money. Producing, shipping, and chilling bottled water can take up to 2,000 times more energy than the tap. The same multiple as the price. The cost and the energy point to the very same answer. So the next time you reach for a bottle of water, remember what you're actually holding. Not water. Water is almost free. You're holding a small triumph of packaging, logistics, refrigeration, and marketing, built around the cheapest ingredient in the whole product. That's the hidden cost of a bottle of water. Not a scandal, a transfer. $48 billion a year. Flowing not toward the liquid you drink, but toward everything wrapped around it. The water was never the point. It was just the part you noticed. This was Cost Atlas. The hidden cost of everything. Next time, the smartphone in your pocket, and why the most expensive thing about it isn't the screen, the chip, or the glass. So study LS. Subscribe. The hidden cost of everything.